say what?
Oh, we're live.
There it is. Welcome, Rednecks on Comics. I'm Daniel.
Mark.
David. Mac Hammer.
And the Yank. Professor.
I saw that. Today we're starting off with Punisher's 13.
Good read.
Real good read. Well, Mark, what did you think about it?
I enjoyed the book. Punisher fan for years.
What did you think about it?
Quit watching us, watching it.
Well, I can talk to people.
Don't watch us, watch you.
Okay.
Watch us.
Tech guy's supposed to be doing the calls.
Well, we don't have Alex. We got the really flipping tech guy, so I got to have his back a little bit. Oh, it's back. I told you.
Speaking of which, Alex had to have surgery this week. Hope you're feeling better today, buddy.
Yeah, Alex.
Yeah, man.
Glad you made it through. Hi, Tony. Tony said, "What's up?" See, he's slacking.
So, Punisher.
Yeah, Punisher.
Punisher. It was a good book. It was good pretty much start to finish. We're kind of starting, looks like maybe in the middle of a story here. But the first page did a real good job of catching you up on it.
Well, you said it was the story started
I think
last.
I think it's the second part.
So in person can drop back and grab it too.
Yeah.
But it fills it in where if you missed it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yes, I didn't feel like I was too far behind.
Well, the writer of the Punisher has been really good, even in the War of the Realms, of dropping back and filling you in what's going on, so you ain't completely lost.
Yes, the first page catches you up on where he. I don't know if it would be
Bologna.
yeah,
Begalia.
and they had
Bologna.
put him in that prison over there, and he just wiped everybody out over there. But
An entire country full of Hydra agents.
yeah,
And he gets out.
Yeah.
And makes it back to the United States.
And what I like about it is, the first panel, well, sets up for the second panel, but it's action. I mean, I was going to say, it was action back from the first panel, but it was from the second panel. I mean, it's bam, there it was, Frank doing Frank.
Yeah. What'd you think?
I mean, I haven't kept up with any Punisher books as of recently, but good coming into it. Like you were saying, it's easy to get right into. Going into the story, you get a little bit of what eventually is going to go on, and then the surprise twist at the end, showing off something that I don't think's been around for quite a few years.
Yeah, a few years.
But the trick of showing that, but who is actually involved in it, is that's a big swerve at the end.
Yeah. But to me, it started off well. Go ahead and give your little intake on it.
Oh, you can't finish one? Hell, I don't exist. What are you talking about?
You Black Hammer.
I'm over here my other corner.
But no, to me, it started off good. There was a quarter of the book that was not as good. Then it picked right up to the end. And,
The big dialogue.
yeah, it finished off really good. I'm going to take that copy home.
Personally, I kind of like the dialogue section because it helped me get a little bit more feel of what they're saying, what's going on,
Well,
where they're intending to go with it. And like I said in the beginning, I love the way it started out. I love it. I like this read. Tastes like Subway. Hey, you can't beat a good book and a good deal.
You is nasty. Oh, my sis said hi. Bro, whoops, hi. Hey, sis.
But the one thing I didn't, I was hoping they would show is during the dialogue section, one of the part, Fisk is getting ready to throw out the first pitch in the ball game.
It'd have been nice to see.
I wanted to see what he did.
I wanted to see if he did fall short of the plate.
Yeah. Or if he knocked the catcher over.
Yeah, he would be more of knocking the catcher down than not quite making it to the plate.
And I think the part of the book that you're talking about was the interaction with the police officers there that you didn't care for.
Yeah.
But as a police officer myself, I didn't really mind that because where he says you did take an oath.
Yeah.
And I didn't take that oath.
Yeah, but your oath to protect and serve.
Yeah.
know,
His is to punish.
yeah, but he's still protecting and serving.
Yeah,
You know,
I like that part too. I like
the beginning, he protected the woman, then he served justice, right?
Well, he didn't protect her more than he was like, he needed information, so he didn't need that.
Well, you know,
So
he
it's
tried to
not
kill him.
protecting, he still killed her. So,
Well, that was just a
swing,
giveaway.
swing. I don't know, but I know there's a good part of it. My favorite panel is where he's blowing up that bar, though.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
like,
the guy.
he's
there
like, they're
then.
going for tryouts for what for? It's a group to take you out. Why aren't you there? They didn't want to die. He's a smart man. Blows his ass away. I was
And
like,
Frank's sense of
Yes.
humor, it's dark, but it's funny.
It's
yeah,
good.
it is.
It is.
Well, what everybody think about the artwork on it?
I would, don't pick it up based on the don't not pick it up based on the cover. But
Still
the
not
inside
bad.
artwork's not that bad.
That's a good cover.
The story really carries it.
Yeah,
The story really carries the artwork. I didn't spend a lot of time
I
looking at
agree.
the panels more than I did reading.
I mean, the art is not the worst I've seen by any stretch of the imagination.
Especially
But-
our recent Marvel.
Not
You
the
know,
worst.
this
Not
is-
the,
Dumb people around here. You're the biggest guy here at the table, and they're still interrupting you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to let
Second,
you
baby.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm first, you second, and Minnie Mouse over there.
I think the warrior just called me in. We'll see
Next.
in the next defensive tactics class how that goes.
I look forward to it. You're an embarrassment.
You're just running your mouth. You're like a little Pomeranian on the porch.
As you're getting stepped out.
You look like that dog in that Taser video.
He looked like that way anyways, didn't he, today? But, all right, well, what would you grade everything?
I would probably give the story an 8 and the art a 7.
I like that. I feel the same.
Story more of a 7, but it's also because, like I said, I haven't kept up with it as much as everybody else has. This is the first Punisher.
Well, we ain't really kept up with much of it.
I don't keep up. I just pick up random books and read them. I don't keep up.
You just want to be the ball bunch.
I'm always the oddball of the bunch. Yes, I can give it an 8.
What about you?
I think it's about the same. Yeah, 7, 8. It's nice. I like it. Pretty good.
I would go 8 on the story. Not sure I'd go quite a 7 on the artwork, though. Part of it to me was just kind of plain. I'd probably go a 6, maybe 6.5 in parts of it.
The coloration they had in the artwork.
Well, I didn't even see that, Timmy, and we're doing. He's wanting us to rate the artwork and the story. So
Yeah, I get the story at 8 because you don't feel lost. I haven't read it forever, and all of a sudden I feel like I could just start right with the book because they give me the recap and I'm ready to roll. You know,
Well, and
or
that's-
I'd probably go a 6.
Yeah. Well, I'm 8-7. But Frank's been that character that they haven't changed. You know, I mean, he's going to always be the same. You know, they do screw up writing him at times, but
Yeah.
that's just that's
Well,
what happens.
During that point in time when he was, an angel
Yeah.
and had access to Heaven's armory, that was pretty bad story writing.
Well, you know, the Franken Castle too, or the Frankenstein. You know, it wasn't. Yeah. The character looked cool, but the story was kind of shot.
Well, you have that ups and downs with any
Hell
character.
yeah. But you know, they haven't tampered with his nature,
Essence.
as much.
But it was a good read, and with reading the first page there with the filling in the backstory, makes me want to go back
Oh, I like to pick up issue 12.
Yeah,
and see
Yeah.
what happened with that, him taking out that one villain and then breaking out of the prison and stuff. To me, I wanted to go back and read
Yeah.
that.
He's not really on my pull list, but I've been keeping, getting him a scan. I'm up to like 1 through 8 now. I haven't read any. But, he's one of them characters that, on a rainy day, you ain't got nothing else to do. It'd be an awesome character.
I didn't really start looking into Punisher at all though until Cosmic Ghost Rider. Then so I started building interest.
That's brought a lot of people on board.
Yeah.
Right? But I recommend it for, teens.
Yeah,
You know, it
well, I mean,
is.
anything Punisher goes.
Yeah.
I rider ages. Parents, their discretion.
Oh yeah, it's you
Always,
raise your kids the way you see
it's-
fit, but
It's not your everyday bright, colorful comic.
And it's not your Max comic line.
oh no,
it's
no.
not.
It's a whole lot more tame than that was.
Yeah.
With Garth Ennis writing it and everything like that. But this falls more into, I would say, early teens.
Yeah, you can give it a PG-13.
Even though
That'd be
there's
good.
It's like the second Punisher movie, and then Punisher Warzone for the Max.
Yeah.
The only worst part in it actually was the beginning with the Colombian necktie.
Yeah.
I mean, that was bad. That
Well,
was the bad part, isn't
The
it?
fight scene between him and that first person.
That's what I was talking
You know.
about. That's what I thought.
Yeah. Well, had to take out the guy then the fight.
Yeah, but that wasn't bad either. You didn't really see him cut her or nothing.
No, but like I say mid-teens,
You just see her on the ground monologue.
early teens, yeah. But
We'll never win.
yeah, I recommend it.
And there you go, folks. Everybody who thinks that we hate Marvel,
We all like Frank Castle.
Yeah.
We have our own version over here. Frank White Castle. I like it.
but Indy and Black Hammer read an independent book.
No, I suffered through an independent book.
yeah,
Amigo Comics. It's Gargantuan #1.
They do not. This is out to issue number 2, and they do not need a number 3.
no, they don't.
This sucked. The artwork, just a smidge better than All Black Devils Must Die.
I thought the artwork was pretty good with like the coloration it did with it,
I didn't like
but
it.
it's not like top tier.
No, it's crap.
The
story's
story's
crap.
hard.
It's an entire book of inner monologue in cavemen.
Yeah, or something.
Whatever
Because
that-
it really
It
does
doesn't
feel
give
like
you a
you picked
backstory on what
Yeah.
happened to make them. You don't know what's going on. No, nothing but this chick's walking around Chicago post-apocalypse, talking to herself.
She's talking about trying to find some guy, killing him because of what he did. Talked about the Gargantuan coming around. It feels
Well, what
Like-
did he do?
We don't
We don't
know.
know.
There's no backstory. It throws you in the middle of this post-apocalyptic wasteland with some chick who just likes walking around saying, "I'm gonna get him." The gargantuans are everywhere, and then the gargantuans they speak in some kind of weird mumble jump like, "No, we eat her." I'm like, like what?
those are the mutants. That's not even the Gargantuans.
Yeah, those are just I don't know what's going on there. It's just it sucks. It's stupid.
Yeah,
This is issue number 2.
This is
This
issue
is
number
issue
one.
number
I don't know
one.
how
Yeah.
if there must have been 2 and 1 at the same time because there's no way that book. I mean, oh gosh, it's
It
awful.
feels like you're like 4 or 5 issues already into a read with this. How they started off.
Do you think they may have had it in with another character or whatever?
I don't
that
know,
broke
but if
off
they did,
into
it probably
this?
sucked too.
Because it didn't even say anything on the inside about like this is a continuation of this series or anything like that. It was just
Here you go,
post-apocalyptic woman walking around.
machete and a stick.
Yeah, but should get a stick. Bitch. The whole time.
Oh, and by the way, my mom had surgery this week too. Hi, Mom.
Love you, Memo.
Praying for you.
Glad you're feeling better, Para.
You gonna give me respects to Grandma Boy?
He's talking to you.
Well, I'm sorry, but Albert Morales just said something.
Yeah,
Oh,
and talking to you, Andy. And for the people out there that don't know, he is saying he's trying to figure out why Andy is showing the guns while sitting in front of Black Hammer.
I love you, bro. First of all, they ain't guns; they're just
Water gun
dick.
cannon.
There you go.
What's that make flat?
He's the whole Air Force. Yeah, tank.
There's no tanks in the flat, Dave.
You ever see one on the plane?
Sure.
you apparently never watched the Hulk
Or the A-Team.
or the 18, right?
Fly on there.
They flew a tank on the A-Team.
See what I told you? You threw a bullet, I put it in a gun and shot it back.
Oh. Okay, I don't see black man on the Air Force. It's more like the whole military. I see him in Space Force.
Space Force, that would be cool. I want to fight aliens.
Me too. Now's your chance.
The Men in Black are recruiting.
Yeah, from what I hear, it couldn't be much worse than what this last movie came out with.
I don't know. I'm afraid to watch Thor.
Albert says Terry is a big independent guy. Is he reading anything now?
White Widow.
White Widow.
White Widow.
Are you on this? How's it going?
Good with it. Just
I
come
like
out
this
more
number
often.
one.
If it come out more often, you pick up number 2.
Did the artwork pick up?
Oh yeah. The artist only did one panel,
Mm-hmm.
but the guy he hired to do the book was better than what he had in number 1. It's actually, the story's actually really picking up. I just wish it'd come out more than every 3 or 4 months.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. I've been wondering about that book.
That's really the only independent book I'm picking up right now.
But then we got Battle Club.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait till that comes out to review it and talk about it. We'll see.
That's what we fun though.
I am going to try the new Bloodshot number 1 coming out as well.
I'm ready for Brightburn.
Is it coming out for a number 1 for the movie?
Not for the movie, just an action number 1.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's called.
Yeah, I'm going to try it out. That'll be another one I'm going to try to read.
Sorry.
Right now, White Widow is definitely the top end of
You're in
one.
charge of the task force. We need some gas masks.
That Subway's hitting. It just hit my stomach.
It ain't hit your stomach. It's coming out somewhere else.
That was in my ass. That was the other part that won't stop running.
So the artwork on it, are you grading?
I'd say artwork 6.
How about you?
4. Read. 0.01.
It's better than Black AF. The reading is better than
Oh,
Black
okay.
AF. It's still not.
It doesn't. No, it's not good. I don't like it.
Well, they are supposed to be mutants, dude.
I guess
I didn't
so.
read the book.
I
But
looked through it, but I
I
didn't.
guess so.
The story though, it's
art's
very boring.
Yeah.
I'd say maybe it's
Well, the
That's
story
pretty
that
cool.
bad, it could have been better artwork or something.
I mean, this isn't bad.
No, it ain't bad.
I'll give it 5. Yeah, there you go. That's all you get from me.
I say 6, but actual reading wise, 2 very
Yeah.
lenient.
Yeah, now we just looked at it where he didn't read it, but I'd say the artwork works at least a 6 myself.
I didn't care much for the artwork. I'd have to read the Punisher and go into that.
Well, yeah, I can see that.
So,
Now, see, I read that first, and then
Do we ever decide
I
where we're
suggested, can I please read the Punisher?
I went from the Punisher to that, and that's just, the artwork
going?
sucks.
Or you want to leave it up to the audience to get them to participate? Just give them 3 options.
Cover of the week.
Cover of the week. Do we want Deathstroke or do we want Grodd?
Grodd is
Deathstroke.
awesome.
Well, we're asking the audience. Are we got cover?
I mean, if you're going to do the Green Lantern or Grodd, I'd pick Grodd. But if we're going to do Deathstroke,
You have no say in anything, Tech Time.
okay. Well, that's your head big enough to match your ego.
No, but my body's big enough.
Timothy says that's right.
We'll let y'all, while we're talking, we'll let y'all decide.
No, I
Look
haven't
at
seen
it.
Deathstroke yet, though. That's nice.
I thought the Grodd was.
I still like Grodd. They did really good.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
See, you knock him down, you want to stick us back up.
Daggum.
Really, Grodd is a good cover.
Those are 2 very good covers.
Well, now that we've had the good and the bad, let's.
Here's the ugly.
And mediocre.
There was something that me and Daniel read earlier today, and we kind of shared it with everybody else.
America has fallen. That's America's ass.
Is we found an article about
Captain America on tilt, nigga.
about DC going on tour with the U.S.O. And they're handing out like prize boxes to all the soldiers that they come in contact with.
That's
U.S.O.
awesome.
boxes that have got DC comic books, movies,
TV
TV
series,
shows, all kinds of stuff in it. They've took the tumbler with them to Afghanistan, letting soldiers have their photos took inside of it and drive it.
Yeah, they take them around rides. Jim Lee went. Tom King went.
That's awesome.
Several of the actors in the DC TV shows went over. something interesting I found was Tom King. He was a CIA
counterterrorism.
yeah.
That was extremely interesting. I wish that he could transfer that over into a Batman book.
That'd be great.
But
I mean, I don't know. I appreciate DC for doing that.
Well, you know,
I appreciate
Lee
that.
taught art classes during it. He even on one of the barrack walls, he even drew a picture of Batman. But that's going to start kick off a start of a tour. They're going to go all around the world to the bases and do stuff like that.
That is awesome.
And that's just, one thing that makes me like DC more.
Yeah.
I mean, Marvel would do something like that.
Small, though. That's like way less than they deserve.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean,
On a scale, but at least they stepped up to the plate.
They're
And the sad part
something.
is you don't hear about it on mainstream news.
no,
I mean, if we hadn't just ran across it looking for something to talk about today, we wouldn't even know about it.
But as a former soldier, somebody taking the time and putting in the effort to do that, to come to your base and do things like that, it means the world to these guys that are out there day in and day out. That show shown a little appreciation for what they're doing and what they're going through.
Well, Bob Hope, he'd done the U.S.O.
U.S.O.
for years.
Yeah.
And, that was a big hit for the soldiers and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Well, if you look
I hope
back,
DC actually takes up the mantle and, does this like for, from here on.
but if you look back,
And they
at some
could
of
have been.
those videos and shows that he did, you could just see waves of soldiers and thousands coming to the shows and things like that. And but that was always something good. My dad was over in Vietnam and actually got to see a U.S.O. show over there. Was fortunate enough to be a part of it. Did your dad?
Yeah. My dad was stationed in Cu Chi, right there at the base of the Black Virgin Mountains. So U.S.O. shows were a lot rarer right there than most places because he was at the Cambodian border where the DC were making a circle on them and coming in through another country.
Yeah.
But he said that he did get to see one, and he said that too many people stood up down front, and of course the guys that were in the back pelted him with beer cans to get them to sit down so that they could see the show too.
And it stated in there that, Batman's 80 years now.
Yeah.
Said for 80 years, Batman's standing for the same thing that the soldiers fight for. And I agree, I mean, as far as, they're out there actually risking their life. Batman comic, I understand that. But Marvel has an opportunity where they could have took a Captain America and more or less put on the U.S.O. show that they had in the movie.
That'd been fantastic.
Yeah, but and they could have been doing it for years now, and we just now found out about it.
Yeah, and Marvel could have done something
Yeah,
too, but we didn't see anything in print about that. What we saw was the DC characters being there, the writers and artists, and
But on this kickoff, they 12,000 all United States military that they was. Like I say, each one of them got their own little gift package. So my hats off to them, and for the soldiers, we much respect.
we appreciate y'all what you're doing. We're trying to hold your six back here for you. You keep doing what you're doing, we'll keep doing what we're doing.
So, another awesome news. Finally, the release of DC's Black Label, Batman Damn #3. Finally got to read it.
Well, what'd you think? I haven't read it.
Wow. The ending pissed me off because they leave you hanging. Oh, do they leave you hanging? Like, I got on the ground and I was like, why? There better be a #4. All right, this is amazing. It is, oh my gosh, about to leave you at like the climactic point of what should have been. Oh my gosh, I mean, the big spoiler. Oh, you haven't read it yet. Big spoiler. Cut this here. He's back. I hope they do
supposed to be a 6.
The word of that.
Thinking, it's deceased as a 6.
No,
Well,
Damn was just a
If you
3-run
follow-
issue.
if you've been following Batman Dad, you know the Joker's dad that played Batman for the murder. Oh my god, he's not dead. Number one, Batman's got something crazy going on with what was her name? What's her name?
Zatanna.
Yeah, you know, you get to see more of her tying into it, but and there's just so much going on in book 3, but it is fantastic. It tops the other 2. It's just amazing. It is amazing. But DC, please bring this story to a close because I'm dying to know what the hell is happening. Because like at the end of it, it says, and this is the beginning of our story, or the end of our story, or is this just the beginning? Black cover. All you see. Why do they do this to people?
DC's pretty good at that.
What about As Deceased been? After you showed
Deceased is going good.
Number 2. No, the whole.
Yeah, well, I just got number 3 today.
I've not picked my cover up yet.
Yeah.
I need it.
Yeah,
The
I haven't had a
Wonder
chance to
Woman
read it.
cover is fantastic.
Yeah, well, they shorted you on that, but they're going to be sending it.
Yeah, I looked it up.
I got the Nun version.
I got the standard that had Batman.
Well, since you started that, let's go around and see what all everybody's read. Not, their main character, but something, that you've read lately that has been a good standout for you. And move on.
Move on because
Well,
it's been one of those weeks that I haven't really got to read anything,
Yeah.
so I'm trying to remember back to what the last good book that I read. So you can move on to Professional.
I think Justice League has stayed good. I read that up to 26, 27 issues.
Yeah.
And it stays consistently good.
Yeah, I got all my back stock of it, so I can get up to 27 now because I picked that up tonight. I think I got 2 left to read before I actually get the story, but it's been interesting how they've been playing out with the story.
Well, I haven't got to read the new ones yet, but the Savage Avengers and the Deceased, so far they've been neck and neck. I haven't got to, but that Batman Laughs, that last one, did you read that? Oh my gosh.
That's another one.
They've got one more issue coming out, and it's going to be like Deceased. I don't see how they're going to end it, but thankfully they get to go on over to the Batman Superman. Yeah, so
So it's going to continue there.
Originally, the Batman That Laughs, that was supposed to be just a 5-issue run.
yeah, then they
So
knocked it
could
to
you
7.
imagine if it ended
Oh,
just like how that?
I would have been pissed.
Oh, yeah.
What about you?
Well, I've
I've had training and everything lately, so
Yeah.
you got to read much of it.
I've been out of town a lot, but I have actually read some. I went back and read some of the old Moon Knight stuff from back when he was with the Avengers,
Okay.
and
Yeah, I'll tell you, tore his card up.
when he left the Avengers, they were arguing about whether or not he got to stay because of something that he did. And when they came out of the room with their decision, his ID card was laying in an ashtray on fire, and he was gone.
That's the thing is, I never knew he was even a part of the Avengers at all.
Well, Albert gave a shout out to Metal Shark. Said they started with a single issue as a preview, and it led to a 96-page graphic novel. It's just a fun, simple read for entertainment. So there's your Albert Morales
Pick of the week.
pick of the week.
Honestly, when he showed that off in the chat and everything to me, I started reading into it. It looks like one I want to try to pick up because it just sounds just the kind of weird, zany stuff that I like.
You heard
Well,
that, is it?
I'm excited about it's already out, but y'all didn't order it because we knew anybody would want it. But Transformers and Ghostbusters, and it's going to have Optimus Prime as Echo 1. So I'm like, yeah, you need to order that for me.
And how about the Walking Dead ending early?
yeah. At 196, I believe.
No,
193.
193.
Yeah, they even cut off 190.
Now, didn't they say to begin with it's going to be at least a 200?
And he came out and said that he wanted to end it his way, his terms, and he was done.
And that's the thing is they introduced a new character in 193 as well. So I don't know if that means that will tie into something else later on down the road, another name.
Did you ever read any of The Walking Dead?
Very little.
I watched, the show. Watched it up till several seasons, but I just never did read any of it.
I guess I'm one of the few people that's never read the book, never read the comic, and never watched the show.
I haven't either.
I'm still
Now, I enjoyed the show, and then it got it just got same old.
Oh, and by the way, if you're having a hard time hearing us tonight, we do have a new microphone. We just needed a new piece to fix it. So next week, hopefully, you'll be able to hear all of us extremely well all the way around.
Yeah.
Thanks to Dave for going and kind of hunting us one down there.
So now I just got to get the
cord.
digital, analog to digital converter. That will be good.
As far as new reads go, I've not been reading anything new. Stuck on a novel. Shout out to Stephen Simonis. I've been trying to finish Riding in the Fire.
Hey, like I so far.
I'm loving it so far.
It's
I really
awesome.
am. I'm at the cave part. I stopped just short of
Okay.
going in the cave because you keep asking me about it.
Yeah.
I'm a busy guy, so I don't read a lot. But I've been on that. It's been good. Those who haven't heard of Stephen Simonis, you should pick up this book. Author of the Gloom series, and awesome guy.
Watch his interview on our channel, too.
Yeah.
Watch his movie on Amazon Prime if you have. What is it?
An author tale.
Yeah, an author's tale. And it's really it's not bad. Not bad. Good stuff. That's where I've been at right now. I kind of stepped away from comics and picked up his book because I was like, I'm going to read your book. So I'm doing it now.
I'm halfway through.
Well, it took me. I got it at the last convention, and it took me up to about 3 months ago, I guess, to actually finish it. Not that it wasn't any good.
It's not that it's not
You
any
know,
good. I don't pick up novels.
You got kids
I'm a picture
running around.
Yeah.
It's just hard to read when
Life gets in the way of entertainment.
And before you pick up this book, you should really check out his interview on our website because he goes into depth about everything they went into this book. And when I read it, I watched, I did the interview. So when I read it, I hear what he told me, and it's just that much deeper for me to read this book. It's awesome.
Now, what were you saying, Jonathan? You were what?
Yeah, I'm halfway through the first volume of Gloom. The first 3 stories.
did you get the?
Yeah,
big
I got the big one that has like the little extra storyline in it, some art and everything they have for it. And it's an awesome read, and I'm actually glad I decided to get that because the way the first story ends, you really want the second one right then and there for it.
Look up the U.S.O. Batman. There should be a YouTube site. Go ahead and throw it on there if you can. But Blaze wants to know, our tech guy, is there any books that's getting ready to come out that we want to read? I don't know why he could just said that,
Definitely
Legion of Superheroes for me, anyway.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to the Batman Superman.
Yeah, I am too on that.
I'm looking for the DC Monsters. Gotham Monsters.
Yeah.
Got them.
Gotham Monsters should be good. Lois Lane. It dropped a 12-issue run starting this week with number 1, and it'd be good to have a modern day backstory on her and not the.
I've got to admit, I was excited about that until what I read today.
Well, you don't know how far it's going to go
Yeah,
into that.
yeah.
I mean, it's just that could be one of those things.
And
where
for
it's-
y'all, I just, I ain't going to get into it much, but it looked like they was going to take a political side. And I don't like, my fantasy getting into the real world is just.
I didn't like it in football, and I don't want it in the comics.
Which football? The American football?
NFL got political, and I could watch it.
This is-
I don't,
Tony's taking up for you, Blaze.
I don't want it in my
He
comics.
said you had to make it official by requesting on this.
That's right.
You need to thank Tony.
Like
Stay out of
things
it,
you do. Hey, Tony.
And this new DC's getting ready to put
That's where I
out new
thought you were ready
fantasy.
to break the song. You.
Light up my life.
That's the link for the DC U.S.O.
Alrighty.
That's one of their videos they've been doing.
Okay.
They're actually in the chopper.
In the chopper.
DC's doing a new fantasy book, The Last God.
I've seen that.
Yeah, that is going to fall under the Black label.
And that looks awesome.
So
It caught my eye because I thought it was Kratos.
it looks like a sword and sorcery type
Yeah.
thing, and I'm sort of looking forward to that one.
Something different.
Yeah.
Well, everybody that said it so far has been all DC. Anything Marvel coming out?
Absolute carnage for me.
Yeah,
Because they've been playing that off since
I'm gonna pick
issue
that up.
1 of the new Venom series.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I haven't kept up with Marvel, Punisher and Captain America, the older stuff. Is what I'm more into when it comes to Marvel. I mean, it's just
Have you heard anything on the House of X or Power of 10?
they threw out something today on the House of 10 or the House of X.
And they were asking, is this really going to be a reboot of the X-Men franchise, or is it going to be a Marvel-wide reboot?
Well, it's going to have to be a
Fired off
reboot
brothers.
somewhere because Professor X and Magneto are way younger than what they was in the last ones that came out.
Yeah.
But that was
I
in
hadn't
the
seen an update.
it was in the
It's
Punisher, wasn't it? Yeah.
Showing the cover.
We might be able to do something about letting us see that.
Yeah.
As far as I know, it's
Well, while we're waiting, we've got a tie from our viewers. Albert likes Grodd. We've got Timothy with Deathstroke. So, Tony, you're the only one that's been responding. You're the tiebreaker if you'll comment and still watching.
Agree with Nacho Libre.
Yeah, that one.
Hey, Joncho, I need some suede.
Red Velvet and Flashy.
Albert said Grodd.
That's what I said. Albert said Grodd.
Oh,
Timmy said Deathstroke. Tony's the tiebreaker.
Tony the Tiger.
Jim Ford picked it.
And your winner is Grodd.
Right on.
House of X.
I like his portable screen.
Tony.
That's on his head.
Yeah.
Looks like a
Oh.
giant screen.
That actual picture is a cover for it, but it's like a 1 in 200 variant.
Yeah.
For that.
But you can see
cover.
the youth in it too.
Well, I'm seeing members of the Hellfire Club.
Yeah.
Apocalypse.
Yeah. Apocalypse there.
Yeah, I like Fireworks.
Still no Shadow King.
As a matter of fact, about the only 3 heroes I see in the picture, standard heroes,
You got
is Marvel
Nightcrawler,
Girl.
X, and
Well,
Marvel Girl.
I see Nightcrawler there, yeah. Looks like Storm in the background there. And Professor X. The rest of them
Villains.
appear to be villains.
But we know Cyclops is going to be in there. We've done seen him in some of the previews.
Will be
Yeah. I mean, I'm not,
Must be a
I
good
hope they
character.
kill him off fast.
again.
They got a new character.
Cyclops is a terrible person. I mean,
He's
have
the one
ever
that
read
you
the
like
book?
to die.
Hey, yeah.
He's the hero that you're like, yes! Score 1 for the villains.
well, bless his heart. He was a villain and, not trying to be. He's killing more big mutants than
He's a
the
jerk.
rest of them.
Right.
I don't know why they never let Logan kill him. Honestly.
They should have done with Cyclops the way they did with Jason Todd.
Had a van kill him. Or,
Yeah.
Okay.
The fans
Kill him off
vote-
and bring him back even better.
there you go, Marvel. There's your
Bring it back
next
with
big
Ryan
idea.
Reynolds.
Hey.
Cyclops
Just because you're on the other side of the table don't mean I won't throw a ball
like
at you.
Arthur Curry of Marvel.
Wait, did you just say?
I said Cyclops is like the Arthur Curry of Marvel. It sucks. Only thing is they won't kill Aquaman for some reason. That'd be,
He is
that'd
dead.
be an amazing like they should have put his ass like in a tuna fish can.
He
Well, I
is
want to put a
dead.
plea out to all these states, in this great U.S.O.
For the swamp thing.
for the Swamp Thing.
Oh man, that has been
Because
so-
they have introduced a new character that I am wanting to see. And it's not many more episodes to go. I believe they're 13 is the total that they
Still
say.
haven't watched it.
No, they only have 10.
10.
Yeah.
So somebody please step up.
And I'm going to throw the spoiler all the way out there. Blue Devil, we got to see more of this.
Yeah.
Somebody please give me your DC Universe password info so I can actually
I got
watch
you,
it.
bro.
By Nick.
I know a better way. I'll tell you after the show. I don't have the DC app. Just saying.
Hey, sir, I'm in law enforcement now.
I don't care. If I can share it with a veteran of the bunch, the rookie ain't nothing.
Did I get to tell you guys what they did to my locker? I share a locker with Blaze, and like in big black letters, they had Black Hammer on my locker.
Awesome.
I was like, I love you guys.
And then little bitty letters, that guy. All right, Albert wants to know if we've seen that Ultimate Carnage series.
I've not picked it up yet, but it's on my pull list.
You mean the absolute Carnage?
Yeah. No, he said the Ultimate Carnage.
It's like I want to read.
Is it absolute or ultimate, Albert?
Absolute's the one that's coming out.
I'm trying to think of all the Carnage series.
I'll be picking that up.
If it's anything like the Venom series, I like it.
Oh, dude, this is Carnage infused with Null, the guy that they introduced in the beginning of the Venom series. And in order for Null to be released, he is on a warpath of getting anybody who ever had a symbiote on them and killing them and taking the essence of the symbiotes.
Yeah, that's the one he's talking about.
Yeah,
He just posted it.
Yeah.
And it's what's the name of it?
Absolute.
Absolute
It's
Carnage.
about Drake myself.
What's the new Ghost Rider coming out where he's with Carnage? Not Carnage.
There's a one shot. Yeah, it's one of the one shot tie-ins. Ghost Rider. I can't remember the name of it. Or it's in the previews.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a one shot that ties in. There's a lot of tie-ins, like everything.
Yeah.
They do.
Well, because they have one for you, but
Punisher's kicking ass right now, though. With his tie-ins that he's been doing. Speaking of tie-ins, I just had to throw another one out there.
Yeah, I've heard that
Digging Frank Castle right now.
the Marvel
Cosmic Ghost
Cosmo,
Rider.
yeah, destroys Marvel Universe is getting really
They brought
good.
me into it, man, and now I've got like this Frank Castle fix.
He's always good. Yeah.
Well, my pickups are the Punisher, or the Realms of the Punisher, Cosmic Ghost Rider, for me.
And Jonathan's boot.
you're all
You
right.
see me, bro? I can eat 4 McDoubles, dude, because I'm going to go to the gym and turn them 4 McDoubles into 4 pounds of muscle. All right? You're going to eat those 4 burritos and turn them into 4 pounds of crap and go on with your life.
I hate to say it, I really do, because I try to eat right and everything, but I have my best workouts when I eat garbage food.
Yes, I
like
eat-
that.
Because you know
right
you got to work it out.
And left. All right? Tag teaming, bro.
That did not look good.
Bro, it was this.
You look like Jonathan. You look like Jonathan and
This.
Blaze outside earlier.
Whoa. Whoa.
And yes, Mama, Indy, I'm going there. I was nice to you. Yeah, last time didn't say nothing. I was the one who got called out. It's all off.
That
It's
was
all-
I had nothing to do with it. All cards are on the table.
Okay,
Okay.
let's move on.
Okay, where we
She has brought down hellfire and brimstone upon you.
No one else, like, you're so busy that no one caught Mark's okay.
Yeah.
Right there. Okay.
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 Silence. Silence in the courtroom. We need to get him a gavel.
Shut up.
Get that tomorrow.
No, because he
Yeah,
won't
that's
beat
what I
the
said.
table.
He
He
looks back
starts smacking people in the face.
Get him one of them extended ones.
Oh, they don't hit hard enough to kill you.
He's never hit you hard.
Now this is coming from a guy that's about 6 foot, 7 foot away from us.
Yeah.
You know, between tables and another table. So
See, I'm right here.
So what else have we got that has come out this week as far as
I think Blaze came out of the closet.
news? That's not news.
It came out.
Anything as far as movies or anything like that?
well, I ran across a couple that I don't want to discuss, but it's just not worth discussing.
What, you talking about, like, Thor?
No,
Not worth discussing.
there's a Spider-Man thing that came out about Tom Holland, but
We don't need to get into that.
New Stranger Things season came out on Netflix.
Well,
I don't watch Stranger
and
Things.
my daughter has been loving it.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
So someone break this series down for me since we're on it. What is Stranger Things?
actually, what I've watched of it with her is
I'm sorry, man.
his eyes is literally watering.
Yeah, but I'm downwind of it.
You do do that all you want, but I still remember the day you burped your Whopper into my mouth. Okay.
Whoa! We can't. No, I'm sorry. We didn't let this pass. What are you doing that close to his mouth that you're burping into?
He was walking into the gym.
Oh,
I was
okay.
standing there, and he burps as I'm yawning. I'm like, bro, what the hell? Man? I was like, dude, did you have a Whopper? He's like, yep. With extra onions. I was like, I know. It's gross. And he's like, oh, let's lift.
See, garbage food, better workout.
Oh,
With
Now,
cheese.
well, now I've got to say, I've been not eating bad.
Stranger Things.
Stranger
Off
Things.
of the stranger conversation.
Yeah, what I've watched of it so far, it's about a group of friends and their kids, and
Anyways.
they run across this little girl, and her name's 11. This is starting the first series.
Okay.
Well,
So
what she
like,
actually,
number 4.
what she is experiment number 11 from the U.S. government on all this mind control stuff and everything.
Trying to, during the Cold War,
Yeah.
spying on Russians, trying to find
Thank you, Mark.
a certain kind of people.
So in well, I guess we're just switching places here.
Damn. But anyway, Timmy, is there another one of these in the refrigerator?
Macarena.
I'll let you have that. You put a minute drink.
No, I'm afraid your tongue has probably been in there. Let me have it, Joyce.
That's not for your information. It's been around the outside.
That's what he said.
But anyway, what I've watched of it has been really good. So,
Did you guys miss me last week?
No.
No, I didn't think so. Yes, you did.
Yeah, we did.
I got a private message saying Black Hammer was missed.
By who?
I don't know. It's on the Green Dragon Clan. If y'all want to be a part of the Green Dragon Clan message page, too bad. That's private.
Oh.
But if you only knew.
We would be banned if that got opened up into the public.
I'm sure everyone's read it in the government anyway.
Yeah.
I was like, we're no secret.
Continue.
anyway, by the end of season 1, was it season 1 she died? At the end of season 1? 11.
They thought she had. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the end of season 1 and season
If
11.
you watch the preview of the end of the actual thing, it showed that the sheriff had it.
So she's not dead.
Well, like I say, I watch it with Chloe, and sometimes I fall asleep while she's still sitting there
The
watching.
sheriff took her in at the end of it.
Season,
They said that she was dead.
Yo, I'm trying to get info.
There's a lot of marks up in there, ain't there?
I know. What the heck?
Because it involves the parallel dimension. And she was in the parallel dimension. Yeah, but so she was invisible.
What
So
parallel
it was-
dimension?
The parallel
Well,
dimension.
there's
See,
is
we're
second dimension.
There's these
Hey, where I'm
monsters.
at.
Opposite.
I know what multiverses are. But
There's these monsters called Demogorgons, and they're like really freaky looking.
And they're nothing compared to what comes out in season 2. They're pretty much chihuahuas compared to the thing.
I hadn't, like I say, I watch it with Chloe. Sometimes she watches 3 or 4 episodes and I miss them.
But it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, because that's pretty much all it's fallen from was them just trying to
The
track down.
interdimensional stuff has always been blocked for me, like the Fringe or stuff like that.
I think it is French.
Yeah, it's like I'm just not big on multiverse.
I like Supernatural though.
I thought Supernatural sucked.
Clarify yourself, Tony. The upside down. Anybody know?
The
That's-
upside down.
that's
The
what
upside
the
down
other dimension
is the other dimension.
Oh,
okay.
he was answering my question.
Okay.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, Tony.
Upside down
I like
pretty much
things
just
too.
looks like a post-apocalyptic.
Every time he says something, like I would say
That's the way you make you feel.
when I get that feeling.
He wants Tony healing. Tony healing.
You can be like Ebony and Ivory, bro.
Hey,
He already is.
you hurt my feelings, man. I'm the Ivory in the picture, man. Yeah, that, he said.
Yeah.
First off, for him to hurt your feelings, you would have to have some.
Yeah.
And you don't.
No.
So if I step on your foot,
Yeah. That would suck. Because you just did out there with the freaking
that was an
claw bopper
accident.
boots on.
I thought you had those dagger toes sticking out at me. Look like you're pre-transformation.
I got the claws. He's got the mane.
I'm just kidding. I can't say you have pretty feet because everyone's feet are ugly. But yours aren't the ugliest ones I've ever seen.
Thank you.
They're right up there.
Dagger toe.
Needle baller special weapon.
That's Uniballer the Great.
Yeah, your
Or
character.
the One.
The one. I am the one. All right, I have one.
Oh. But,
Like scene from the Highlander, but the only one.
Was that what
it was like Jurassic Park. It was like at Jurassic Park. So what happened to the other one? She ate it.
Oh, God.
Pac-Man.
I was gonna say, it was like that's Pac-Man going on inside you.
So, what do you think about the possibility of
Thank you.
Alan Scott
Save the day.
going to Stargirl?
I love the thoughts of it, especially if it's the old Alan Scott.
Yeah, I've never read any of the Stargirl stuff though. Like,
Well, Alan Scott was
other than
your
what I've
first.
seen in movies and cartoons.
Alan Scott was your first Green Lantern,
I know Alan Scott, but it's the Stargirl.
but it's mystical.
Now, I like the
powers.
rendition of Alan Scott they have with the new Green Lantern, like some kind of crazy goblin looking thing wearing Alan Scott's costume. I don't know if you've seen it yet. It's nice.
It's from another multiverse.
Yeah, I like it though. When I picked it up, I was like, awesome. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, mystical powers,
Don't get me going on Green Lantern. Mystical powers,
not
not the ring. Yeah.
the ring's just a focus point for him.
I'd like to know how they went from Alan Scott and sorcery to Oa and Fireport.
Well, that was back during the 50s. You know, the atomic age is what they called it, and everything looked futuristic. And you know, they were saying the cars were going to be flying by now, which I
Well, they
wish
do
they
fly.
would. But,
They do fly.
but that's how all that came about. So he went from like a wizard to a space cop.
Wizards to space cops. I can dig it.
Good transformation.
Yes.
But do you think they would pull, with that being Stargirl being one of the last members of the Justice Society, hopefully they'll bring more of those characters in.
I would love to see Wildcat.
Yeah, I like
That would be a fantastic twist on that show to bring Wildcat in, especially as the trainer.
That would be good.
Jay Garrick would be good too.
Now they're bringing this as a show.
Stargirl will come on after Swamp Thing finishes.
I want to see anywhere.
Yeah, that looks like it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and that's
And
what's
going
going
back
to
to
install. I think
The U.S.O. They actually showed a sneak peek to Pennyworth to the soldiers. So,
They deserve it. 'Cause I'm sure
Yep.
it's gonna be great. I was like, I cannot wait to see that. Because Alfred's backstory is just one that's shrouded in mystery.
Yeah.
It truly is. Like he's dark. His backstory is deep. That's what he is. He's more mysterious than Batman. You know nothing about him. That he's a badass.
and there's all kinds of fan theories out there about the man. They've even been a fan theory that he's pulling strings behind Batman and making him do all this stuff that he's doing. That's a good take on it. We all had like that one fan theory where what if Batman was in Arkham and Joker was his doctor and everything. They kind of done that, pulled that off the whatnot.
Yeah.
They not a full blown thing, but they did touch base on it a bit.
And there's been some that have said that, one of the theories was Alfred was the bad guy the whole time and was setting Batman up consistently by, sending him into places or having him do things that,
But we all know, Alfred is more or less Batman's moral compass. between him and Gordon, you know, they kind of keep Batman wrangled in. I mean, you know, he's got his own moral compass, you know, I'm taking that away from by no means, but we all need that support system, and that's his too. But Krypton, I want to touch base on Krypton.
I've still not watched it.
It's been really good.
Is it? Yeah. I want to watch it so bad. I get really speak.
Sure.
Batman's in Krypton?
No,
Yes.
no,
Don't listen to him.
no. We had this last week.
Then he was turning on Krypton there.
It's getting really good.
I wish they'd make a Batman show. Superman's got his.
They did Gotham.
That was Gordon.
It's just as much Batman as it
I'm gonna have to say that was more of a police show. That was about Jim Gordon.
It was building up to.
Well, they need to keep going with it. Bring out a Batman series.
I'd like to see them take off from where he grew to that point and take off with, you know, like I say, the whole Batman run. Because the kid that played the Batman all the way through it, and as you watched him grow and mature into it, I thought he done a good job.
I see they're bringing in a lot of back burner heroes over these shows. So I can understand not doing a Batman one. Superman, he's always going to be on the spotlight. You got Smallville, Krypton.
Well, the Batwoman series that's coming out.
That's going to be awesome. I
It's
like the
gonna
character. I like the actress they got to play her.
Yeah, but they've got a Batman that's going to be in there too.
Yeah, so we'll show
I just don't think she's a good actress.
Yeah.
Supergirl.
Now, what I'd like to see
I don't
though is
know who's playing.
That, what is her name? Rose?
Yes.
What is it?
Ruby. Ruby.
Ruby. Yeah. I just never liked her acting
But
stuff.
I'd
Yeah,
like to see
they've
a
got-
Green
I
Lantern
think
series
it's-
come out.
John
John Stewart Green Lantern. He's one of those back burner heroes. Who needs more credit? No,
Well,
it's not
I'd like
because
to
of
see-
that day.
I'd like to see Red Hood.
That would make. I would
Spin-off.
love to see a Red Hood series.
Even if they just want to do a spin-off with like the three Robins, the main Robins.
Does anyone here have Red Hood 25?
I've got it.
I
You
don't
can borrow
think I've
it.
got an extra
I
copy.
need to borrow it.
Yeah, but you can't have it.
I don't want to keep it.
But with the DC Universe, they've got Jason in there now.
Yeah.
That would be something that they could break off of and go
I believe the guy that's
into-
playing him makes a good supporting character, you know, for the role. I just don't believe he can make a standalone.
But they could do it as in, you know, him growing up and coming back so many years later. And
like they did like a Selena Kyle.
Yeah, and they could pull up, you know, another.
But talk
he's kind of small
Yeah.
in that, and you would want, you know.
But talk about Selena, the Robert Patterson Batman. His name Robert Patterson.
He is no longer going to be the Batman.
No, they're still saying he is. But the
So
villains, they
he's
announced
back
the villains. Who was it that's telling us about the villains today? So it's going to be the Penguin and who
Oh,
else?
the Penguin and Catwoman are going to be the two main ones.
Well, no, they brought in like
There's
bunch of
Mad Hatter's name.
Yeah.
mentioned.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
the
that.
two main ones. That's what I'm saying with the Penguin and Catwoman.
I read somewhere that he really is backing out of the movie. Like he really is cannot do it.
I read where he's backing out, but it ever conflicting. But I've done a little bit of research. I didn't. That's the only little article that I'd seen. So,
See, I heard he was backing out of another movie role because he was this role. He turned down another one.
I actually went through and started looking up some of his other movies though, and I kind of am looking forward to seeing him play Batman.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
you see
He
some
did his
of his
first Wayne.
other
Other stuff,
work,
yeah, because I was just stuck on Sparkly Vampire guy.
Yeah.
He's actually really good at it.
I've said it from the first time. You know, everybody's been against him, but I've said, you know, I believe he'd make a good Bruce Wayne. I'm just the whole Batman.
Intensity.
I don't know.
He might pull it off well.
He might. I mean, I'm going to keep open
Because some
mind
of
to
his,
it.
he's got, he
That's
does
what I'm
good.
saying.
Oh,
Some
yeah.
of the
Roles
roles
that
that
he's
he's
done, he has. been
So-
able to
And it's
pull
hard
that
to get past the whole sparkly vampire.
It is, but that's,
It is.
but I mean, if he can change that,
Somebody playing footsies with me underneath the table. Stop it. My feet are over here.
Mine are attached. I don't know what you.
Don't make me take mine off and throw them at you. Dagger.
Feel like a quad dagger. wouldn't it?
there's 5 toes on every foot, just in case you can't count.
Not ever, but I do have 5. This one.
I find that funny.
Bit of toe jam. We get random stuff, you know.
Yeah,
We
we
just-
went off on
Yeah.
variants tonight, boy.
It's fun that way.
Yeah.
You never know what's gonna come. Like wearing a camo condom. Can't see what's coming. Oh gosh.
And I believe that went a little bit too far. And by a little bit, I mean
Albert, justify this. You wouldn't walk by me
Albert
at the
said-
con either.
Albert said, no. She's trying to get me to squeeze between you and a wall, and I could either went front ways or back ways, and I wasn't going either way. So
Yeah, he in spandex. Move.
I don't care if you had an innie instead of an outie, I still wouldn't have done it. Just saying.
You all, hey,
Well, has
They said
anybody
to wear the
heard
costume.
anything on the new Spider-Man movie?
Homecoming.
I've seen it or heard any reviews, good or bad.
I've actually,
Or not Homecoming, the Far From Home.
Yeah, Far From Home.
I've heard some good reviews on it. Of course, we heard a lot of good reviews on Captain Marvel too, and it sucked.
Has anyone seen the new ending of Endgame yet? Like, I can't bring myself to watch it because I didn't like Endgame. They did alternate ending for it. I guess they did some kind of cameo.
I know they done like a 6-minute extension to it, but I didn't know they was doing a different ending.
It
Yeah,
sucks.
yeah,
You're missing nothing.
Now, don't get me wrong, Captain Marvel was a great movie until Captain Marvel was in it.
The cat was cool.
I like that more.
I like the cat thing. I like learning how to do that thing.
I like Nick Fury and Phil Coulson. Well, they reacted.
Coulson,
Yeah, they did. They were,
Yeah, if it had been a
That was fun to watch.
Fury Coulson act, it'd been there.
yeah, that was, kind of a buddy cop,
I did see some preview artwork for Wonder Woman, the new Wonder Woman movie, and it looks
What was Wonder Woman 82?
84, 1984.
and it looks like it's going to be, just from what I've seen, really good visually. Anyway,
Well, have you seen the guy that they've got to play He-Man in
It
the new movie?
is
Wait, what?
the movie or the show that they've been
Yes.
because I've been watching like this show thing they've been doing.
There is a new Masters of the Universe
They
movie
need to stop.
coming out.
Every time something else comes out about
That's why that
He-Man,
comic was
worse.
his first appearance and shoot up
Worse.
the value.
You didn't like who was it, Dolph Lundgren?
No one liked Dolph Lundgren as He-Man.
Was it Dolph?
Yeah. Well, he's played He-Man and he's
And
played
Punisher.
Punisher.
Yeah.
Stick to the
And while he's
As well
looking
as
it up,
Drago.
the funniest thing I'd ever heard was Steven Seagal was in the running for Batman, the Michael Keaton Batman. They was looking at Steven Seagal for that.
I will stop you.
How crappy would that be?
Someone give me some sage.
Thank you, like I'm.
Didn't even make a
Did
sound.
It was.
Pull it up. It's a young actor that had been on Netflix and stuff. But when you think of He-Man, what characteristics do you think of first?
As He-Man?
As He-Man.
Yeah, the size.
Size. What else?
As Adam? Hi.
He-Man.
Well, so I think
Yeah, we just get them on
popcorn
fast.
full hair.
But what color?
Blonde.
Blonde. All right. This guy looks more of like a Latin actor. Kind of slender, dark hair.
Well, that ain't the one we're looking at.
All I know is there's rumors about they're doing the Little Mermaid and making her.
Oh, that's a big bag. Yeah, they.
Spanish or something.
That's the one. That's the He-Man I'm
That's
talking
not
about, and it
the,
sucks.
That's not the one that they're talking about.
That sucks.
Terry Crews is He-Man. That actually be
You'll lose it.
That would be.
That's
That would
not
be
the
kinda fun.
one
You're gonna
that
have glow
they
sticks hanging off the
have,
sword.
unless they have totally changed
Steven Tyler.
what that character or the actual person.
He wouldn't even need makeup.
Uh,
Just wake up out of bed. Come on.
I will get you. Sweet power of mine.
When he runs into Adam, dude looks like a lady.
play Adam, have Kevin Hart. So Kevin Hart turns to Terry Crews.
Oh my gosh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, no, we'd have to throw Kevin Hart to turn into The Rock.
No.
Yeah, because
No, because Terry
the
Crews
playoff,
is,
the
Terry
playoff between.
Crews is like that same shade of black that Kevin Hart is.
Yeah, but you know,
I
you
wasn't
can always
going
have
that
makeup.
far.
Why does he gotta get lighter? All right, why do you want to? I stretch too.
Because he ain't gray, man. He ain't gray. But
I wish I
He
was.
does live in
no, the playoff between Kevin and Rock has always been awesome.
It is, but you'd have to have them on screen together. You have the Rock do Skeletor.
A lot of people will scared. That Noah Centennial.
Yes.
Wow.
Wait, what's it look
It's
like?
pretty bad.
We all want to see.
Yeah, that's who
Really?
they have-
What?
It looks like a Jonas brother.
but that's who they have hired to be He-Man. But they said as far as acting skills, the guy's got it.
He might have it, but
But
they need
the
to put him on
look-
Deca and Masteron and a whole bunch of other nice little steroids and make him bigger.
Or it's going to
If he-
all be CGI, or put him in a
You know,
padded suit like they did
I hope they
Zachary Levi.
I hate when they do stuff like that though. Right? You know,
If he bulked up, the guy that played
why can't we go back to the
Superman
Lou Ferrigno
Returns?
Hulk painted green days?
Well, Lou didn't need CGI.
I know that's what I'm saying. Why can't we go back to
Yeah.
that? Why not give the people that actually put time
Action
in the
Buster,
game?
but yeah.
You're that big. Be that big. Don't CGI. Don't give them a freaking suit.
Yeah.
No, they let them be. Let it
Brock
be real.
Lesnar as He-Man.
No.
Well, that guy played on Game of Thrones.
Actually,
Late Priest.
That guy played on. Well, no,
so sick of seeing
ain't
CGI and
enough.
freaking spray tan
The Mountain
mountains.
played on Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
You know,
The Mountain,
he would have the accent and everything down there.
dude, he would make a great He-Man.
Well, he ain't cut enough.
So
He's strong enough.
he's
yeah, I mean,
he can make a great He-Man.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Cut or not, Jason Momoa doesn't have short blonde hair, but he made a good Aquaman.
That's true.
Water.
That is true.
Yes. Terry Crews is Green Titan. Power of the ocean in my hands. Every time he pop takes, he have like a whirlwind.
Okay, it's getting late.
All right. Well, we thank y'all interacting with us. Those did. I do want to say, help us get to 500. We've got a possibility of getting a sponsorship if we can hit 500 subscribers. So do what you can do.
Friends, neighbors.
If you can't do it, find a way.
Yeah, if you don't want to even watch it, just
Burn our
subscribe and turn off the notifications.
Yeah, just share.
But let's get the word out there about it, so we can share all of our zany antics with everybody can see. Just
Heck, I got a couple of my customers actually subscribed to the channel and watching now from work, just talking about it to them.
and
It works.
I have people that come in the store here that I've got just trying to refer anybody I can to get to it so we can grow and get better and more comfortable with what we do. Of course, I don't know. After tonight, we got pretty comfortable tonight.
Well, one of us got really comfortable.
It's good to be back. I had to put up a building last week. It was very hot. Saying the sheet metal is fun. What's written?
Oh, Tony, I just told everybody they got quiet. And Tony said he had his grandkids running around. We understand, Tony.
Yeah.
Completely.
I didn't realize Tony was that old.
He's not. He's younger than I am.
He's got
Proof he's old enough to be my granddad.
My mom's younger than Marcus. She has 6 grandkids now.
Let's not talk about age here, guys.
Sorry, David. David's younger than me. He has grandkids.
I started way early.
See what kids having? He's only 21.
Way early. I adopted when I was 3.
Tony said he has 6 of them. 6 grandkids.
Mom's got 6, and she's hoping for the next child in line not to have as many. Her house isn't that big. Not a lot of room there. I don't have small children. I give birth to giants. Giants.
Goliath.
That.
I've had a good night.
Yeah, it's been good.
Good show.
Yeah, stay active with us. We enjoy reading it, talking to y'all while we're doing it. But I'm done. You done?
I'm done.
All right.
I'm done.
Night, y'all.
Night.
Night.
See you in the morning.